Doesn't 1 2 3 mic check. Doesn't 1 2 3 mic check. Testing the levels. Testing the levels. Testing the levels. Testing the levels. Testing the devils. Testing the devils. Testing the levels. Levels is good. Levels is good. Devils is good. Devils is good. Levels is good. Man, bro, I had a decent trade in, bro. I mean, I took profits on it. I made profits. I swung a couple Apple puts over the weekend, bro, and I got out here and look, the market's just dumping, bro. Like, but you feel me? Like, once again, bro, like, I'm not in it for home runs. That's what I got to remind myself. You feel me? It's like a constant reminder, bro, because basically when I see the price action going in my direction, it kind of gives me confirmation that I was right, right? But like, you know, I was right, but at the same time, like, once I see it hit my level, I need to be executing my trades and following my plan and not trying to be more right. But I mean, like, here's a prime example. And let's get off the 1 minute on Apple. Here's a prime example. Look, I swung the puts. I had the 150 puts. You feel me? Off the open, like we gapped down, obviously. Look, previous closes up here, so we gapped down. So once that happened, my contracts and everything were already in the money. But you feel me? Like, just got out. Like, it hit my price target and I got out. But looking back on it, look, if I would have stayed in, those things would have printed more. But like, you never know, bro. So it's good to just follow your plan and not worry about what woulda, coulda, woulda, shouldas. You feel me? If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk, right? Hold on, I'm just trying to load up and see how the stream's looking. For some reason, so I'm having a little trouble here. No, I do not want to try. I already have YouTube Premium. Like, bro, they trying to get me to freaking sign up for YouTube Premium on every single one of my goddamn channels. What sense does that make? No, I do not want to try. I already have YouTube Premium. It's looking good, sounding good. All right. So, like I said, bro, like, already freaking took profits. Now, I do still have a trade on from last week, which is success. And I mean, it was more in the money, but we're seeing the market try to catch a bounce, or at least the semis. I don't know, because TSM, look at TSM. TSM's dumping. But if you check out AMD, and basically NVIDIA looks the same on the 5 minute, yeah, we dumped off the open, but it looks like we're basing down here. But now if you look at the SVX, the S&P 500 index, look, this thing got up here to this previous close and it's been dumping ever since. So I mean, no, it cracked past the 120 just now. It's trying to catch a bounce at the 120. I mean, as of now, the contracts are still in the money, but not by much. Probably should have got out up here, but let's see if the market continues to dump. And bro, Apple on the 10 minute, like, I could have let that thing ride, but you feel me? Like, I had a decent amount of contracts, so even like this little move from here to here, plus the gap down was straight. You feel me? But like this success trade right here is getting me a little worried. Like, as of now, success is dumping, Nvidia and AMD bouncing. I mean, it's still in the money, but it's basically break even. So I probably should have got out. But let's see what happens. Let's look. You got the Qs up here at the 120. Let's see if the Qs are able to reclaim the 120. SPY's not there yet. And if you look at, and I keep forgetting, if you look at, well, those are the semis. See, the semis are bouncing. All right. That's why you see Success having a little trouble here. But if you look at the SPX, look, it got down here to the 120 and it bounced. So, I mean, basically, that means the SPY and all that's going to bounce. We'll check. We'll check it out. I don't like how my webcam's looking over here. I'm going to try to fix that. I mean, that's about as good as it's going to get, I guess. Hopefully my head's not chopped off. All right. Put a little bit of music on. So now we got some bouncing coming in, but what I'm seeing on AMD and Nvidia is they put in a temporary bottom of a range. Let's just check it out. Actually, I keep forgetting I can go over there. So put in the temporary bottom of the range right here. Looks like they found the bottom and they're bouncing up, but Nvidia's rejecting off this 120. AMD's basically doing the same thing. Was never able to get up to the 120, and I got TSM under that. TSM's looking even a little weaker. For the last few days, TSM's actually been stronger. So that's something different. And we can see some rejection here, right? Look, Apple tried to put in a bottom. Like, damn, that would have been max gains right there, bro. But again, like, I'm trying to get out of the habit of hitting home runs. Like, I don't want home runs. Like, I'm only going for base hits. You know, the market is gonna, you just gotta let things shake out. You feel me? We're only 15 minutes into the trading period. So the market hasn't really found a direction. And for the most part, I mean, it looks like the direction is down. And if you check out look, the S&P 500, I mean, I don't know what happened right here. That thing just gapped down, bro. Look. And it's at the 120. So it's important, critical little event right here. Does it hold this 120 and able to base on it, or does it crack and head to the downside? That's going to be, you know, very decisive. But I mean, for now, like, I already took profits on my main trade and I'm out of it. And I just got like a little baby trade on the side here. There's a lot of volatility. Like, you had all those options expire on Friday, and now there's a new set of like it's the last I guess option cycle until the end of the year. And right here, I mean, that bouncing ain't looking too good. And I mean, on the day, I'm still in the money on the contract, but like overall, not so much. So that's why I'm trying to give it a little bit more time. But I mean, if you look at the semis, things are bouncing, bro. Wrong one. Right here. Some things are bouncing. So I have to go ahead and cut that success. I mean, for now, it's it hasn't gone against me on the date. So, like I said, I swung it. I don't know if we can put this somewhere. I think we buy on it. I mean, it looks fine actually. Look at the market now, bouncing decent. Might be some trades out there, bro. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. But right now, we're definitely seeing some strength coming to the market. And what's that? About 20 minutes into the trading period. So might have to extend that time out for the bottom of the range to set in. You know what I mean? You always have to make little tweaks and adjustments because market conditions change. Now look, you got the spine, the Qs getting back up here to this level where we previously rejected. Looking like they want to reject again. And if you look at the S&P 500, oh, my bad. Look what it's doing. It was able to hold the 120. All right, and base on it and bounce. Now it's getting up to like VWAP in the 9 and rejecting. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But I mean, for the most part, like my contracts that like my major play that I had in has already worked. So now I'm just looking to see if I can get a little extra gains, or if I see an A+ setup. And like look at the SPY. See what it does at this level. Okay, it's got over that. And what about the Qs? And obviously, if the SPY reclaimed it, the Qs might. But hold on, look. We're seeing some rejection. We're seeing some rejection. Damn, that would have been nice to just hold those freaking puts down here, bro. Gotta get out of that. Gotta get out of that home run mentality And I'm mainly talking to myself, because like I'll say 8 or 9 times out of 10, like I'm right on the actual move or the play. But when I go back and basically go over my charts and my trades, to revisit them and see what I could have did better or what I did wrong, etc., what I'm noticing is that for the most part I'm pretty much right, but it's just I'm staying in the trades too long, basically. I mean, here's a prime example. But I mean, the SPY's edging up now, but it's still playing around these levels. But we're seeing Apple now crossover, not it cross over the 9 and VWAP. It's crossing over the short term. I mean, if that trend continues, you can expect the Qs and the SPY to go ahead and go red to green. These things are looking pretty bullish. I might just go ahead and stop out. I mean, I'm basically break even on the day on this trade, on the success. I did good on my Apple puts. And bro, I mean, check out the semis. I gotta get this right. Alright. Check out the semis, bro. AMD and Nvidia looking pretty strong right now. TSM is trying to follow suit, but actually lagging behind them. Let's see what happens. Now, if Nvidia goes red to green, which it's like right up there at previous close, then I definitely know I need to stop out of success. But right now, it looks like it's rejecting. So let's wait and see. Rejecting decent too. Oh my god, bro. Alright, my third monitor is all the way on the right. You see the rejection up here? But yeah. I mean, obviously, that's a huge rip. Like from here to here. That would have been a decent trade right there. You feel me? Bottom of the range to the top. Bottom of the range up here. Decent trades. We're seeing some rejection. So let's just see what happens. And having trouble at that red to green line. And I mean, as of now, the SPY or the Qs are still backside. They haven't went red to green. Basically, nothing has Apple, Meta, Nvidia, AMD. I mean, the S&P 500, SPX, nothing's gone red to green yet. So everything's still backside. And that's basically why I haven't closed out the success yet. I mean, if you look, like if you're paying attention to like the semis and watching success, they're basically the inverse. And I mean, TSM's looking weaker, bro. It's looking weaker than Nvidia and AMD today. But last week, basically, TSM was leading them all. So as far as the semis, I'm going to go ahead and say Nvidia is leading with AMD behind it, and then TSM. All right, let's get rid of some of these levels here. That's a good one. Nvidia and AMD looking pretty strong. But again, nothing's gone red to green. Everything's still backside. I think I forgot to turn my stream off for my music channel. My bad. All right. Anyone on the music channel, I mean, you should be learning some financial literacy. You feel me? You learn some financial literacy, get you a little side hustle going that gives you more time to make your music, to chase your real passion. You feel me? Now, we're seeing bouncing coming in the queue and the spies. Nvidia is shopping around up here at the top of this range. Had trouble. It rejected, but it's still above the 120. We'll see what happens. We're seeing, I guess, the rejection off the top of the range up here. Look at Apple. I mean, perfect little V shape right there, though. Like, I mean, I caught half of the fade, and I got out. But like, felt like I started doing too much at one point. I mean, right now I'm not really trying to be making money both ways and being too fancy. Again, just the base hits. Now, success is over VWAP. So I should expect to look over at the semis and see them rejecting. Look, see how Nvidia came up here to previous close and rejected. AMD never even made it up there. I mean, for now, I'd say this little level right here on AMD is a nice little resistance. The 7280s. A decent little resistance right there. Alright. I'm gonna skip past this part. On the beat. So let's see what happens. I mean, we had a decent rejection on Nvidia, AMD as well, but as they're rejecting, TSM is actually putting in higher lows. So I mean, I don't know what's going on with those things right now, but TSM is basically doing its own thing, which is expected. You know, when someone buys $4 billion worth of shares in a company, we're just observing here. I mean, there's definitely some good trades. I mean, most of your volatility is going to come off the open. I definitely seen some volatility off the open. I was able to capture some. I'm happy with that. So now basically we're seeing bouncing coming into the semis. And from what I could tell right now, I don't know. I felt like TSM was trailing, but when AMD and Nvidia were selling off just now, TSM was putting in higher lows. So there could be some deviation from the leadership in the semis. But again, just looking at the overall market and what I am watching, I haven't seen anything go red to green yet. So basically, Meta, Apple, the SPY of the Qs, S&P 500, everything's still backside. So look at Apple. Just, putting in a nice little bullish pattern, cross over the 9 in VWAP in the short term, putting in higher lows, stepping up with some moderation, and looking like it wants to cross over this 120. Look, I think there's some resistance up here, bro. At this 395 50s on the SPY. Let's look, every time we got up here, we rejected. And the Q is the same thing. We'll say around 284, 284 50s. And then if you look at the S&P 500, basically the same thing. So I gotta fix it. So look at Meta. What a nice fade to catch, bro. From up here down here to the bottom of the range, one trade. And what I'm seeing on the S&P 500 is every time we get up to about right around here where that short term is, we're rejecting. So that level is what? 39.60. All right. Now look at my success. Now Nvidia and AMD rejected decent off the top of the range, and them things cracked basically below all indicators. And TSM has rejected off the 9 in VWAP, but like I said, there was some type of deviation in the leadership. So what I mean by that is AMD and Nvidia rejected a little bit harder. See that? But TSM, not so much. TSM is trying to base on VWAP. Right? And like I said, as of now, nothing has went front side. Meaning nothing has crossed over a previous close and went red to green. So that's why I'm still in this trade. Because we might see a flush, bro. Go ahead and crack to the downside. If we see that, that move Prince. I mean, on the day I'm up 13% on it. I mean, love to be up more. Look at this pattern, bro. Like, we're just seeing fading right now and dumping on the spine, the Qs. Also the S&P 500, Meta's dumping hard, bro. Meta's making new lows. Nice little trade right there, bro. Look at Meta. Look at that. So, even right here, 15 minutes into the trading period, I mean, I would have been, you know, a little cautious to be putting on a bearish position over the 120 when we're already over VWAP and everything. But, you know, after you see the next candle open below the previous candle or put in lower lows and lower highs as far as the body with this long wick reaching up and rejecting off the 120 and VWAP and the 9, that probably, you know, could have been some confirmation that you could go ahead and take a quick scalp to the downside. And I mean, success just keeps getting up here to the top of this range. Let's see if we can make some new highs on this thing. Right now it's rejecting. So I would expect to see some bouncing coming in the semis. That's kind of what I see. But all in all, even though they rejected off that previous close, from the bottom of the range to where they're trying to base at now is a higher low. So we're seeing bouncing coming in. But look at the bottom of the range. Around there. See if it's able to hold. And the Qs are looking a little weaker, bro. I must say. I feel like the Qs are under resistance right now. Just look, we came down here and based, bounced, and now we've broken below that level, 283.08. I guess the same could be said about the SPY. But again, these are just like off the hip levels off the intraday chart. You really can't put too much weight in them. Let's go to the 5-minute. I mean, I'm not even trading Apple anymore, so I don't know why I have it up here. I'm gonna go ahead and put Meta here. I've been seeing some nice range on Meta. And I'll put Apple over here. So Meta's now, look, that thing freaking tanked. But now it's like at the bottom of the range basing. And I guess the first test would be here where we have all these wicks like rejecting, you know, trying to base. So, I mean, if this thing could break above this level, which is 111, but we'll just call it 111 flat. I mean, you might see some upside action on Meta. As of now, it's rejecting. And again, on the semis, we're seeing a bearish looking chart on both AMD and Nvidia. And TSM now. TSM was putting in higher lows, but now it's rejecting off the 9. It's basically wedged in between VWAP and the 9, which is kind of tricky to trade. It means basically a lot of chop. And I mean, now we're seeing bouncing coming back in the semis. With Nvidia rejecting off the 9 and the short term, trying to get up the VWAP. But like I said, look at TSM. It came down here and found the bottom, right? And ever since then, it's just been like putting in higher lows and grinding to the upside. So that might be my cue to go ahead and get out. Yeah, like I said, it's a small position. And that's a benefit of you feel me? Like trading with the right size that you're comfortable with, bro. Because if you're trading with too much size, your emotions get in it. But if you're trading with the right amount of size, like, you know, it allows you to think logically and not emotionally. Doesn't matter how much money you have in your account. You have $1 million in there, bro. Like, it depends on what you're comfortable with trading. You have $1 million in your brokerage account, like, still, like, whatever size that you're comfortable with trading, trade that size. Doesn't matter if it's a very small position relative to how much you have in there. Because again, like, the base hits add up and they compound over time. And again, nothing has gone red to green yet, bro. So that's why I'm like still in this thing, playing around. And look, Meta wasn't even able to break above that chop. We might see some downside on Meta, bro. But we're already at the bottom of the range. So, I mean, if anything, you'd wait for it to break above and maybe come back up and test the top if it's able to. But, you know, trying to grab puts or go short down here at the bottom of the range, like, the risk to reward isn't there, even though it's looking weak. And look at this heat map. So there you go. That's how you know nothing's front side, because everything's red. Success and Yang are bearish leverage vehicles. And look at Meta. let's go ahead and do some TA on these semis. See where they're at. All right, the bottom of AMD was down here at around $60. The top was 80. We're trading towards the top, and I feel like if we're gonna follow a pattern, we should head down. You can't really see that. So look, from the top to where we are now, the top was around 80. We're trading around 70. Bottom was like 59. We're seeing this SPY trying to bounce the S&P 500s on the 120. Look, so again, another crucial time. Does it bounce off this 120 or base on it, or does it crack? That will determine a lot of things, bro, and basically the overall direction of the market. Right now, everything's backside though. I mean, everything's looking pretty weak. Now, I do see Nvidia basing around this one, around 152.20s. It's trying to put in a base and bounce. 152.25. Yeah, 152.25. So, what happens here? Pretty crucial as well. See that? Look, hit the top, sold off, and it's been basing there at this 152 and trying to catch a bounce, trying to catch a bid. I mean, AMD basically the same thing. 72.25. And you can't see TSM, but TSM is basically doing the same thing as well. Now, Apple is down here at the bottom of this range again, trying to catch a bid. 148.70s, 148.75, and then the S&P 500. Look, it broke below the 120 for a second, and then it caught a bid, it caught a bounce. I got Apple open on 2 charts. Let's watch Google. And I mean, look at Google. That thing just came up here, hit the top, which looks to be about 98.60s, and just reject it. So Google was actually front side actually. Look, Google, when it bounced up and went red to green for a second, hit resistance up here and sold off. And it's trying to hold the previous close, but looks like it's breaking beneath it. So there's one that's front side. But I mean, from the couple of charts that I've looked at, or the tickers that I'm watching in the charts, like, I see nothing that's front side. Look at Meta. Wasn't able to get over that resistance right there, which looks to be 111. With the Qs doing basically the same thing Meta's doing. I mean, they're both tech. Now, the SPY is cracking the 394 30s. Looking like it wants to head to the downside. Now we got AMD cracking to the downside, decent. Nvidia cracking to the downside, decent. Let me check this out. Look at that. Good AMD. So, I mean, looks like AMD's leading right now as far as the action is concerned, the price action. So let's see if they continue to crack it. AMD's cracking to the downside decent. About to make new lows. Apple made new lows on the day. Now the S&P 500, the SPX, has cracked the 120 way below it, bro. Wow, we have to look at this. Look at this thing. Look. This is a deviate. Wait, my bad. This is a deviation from anything that we've seen so far. Look, S&P 500's cracking the 120. Look how far below it is. And then, bro, look at Google. Hit that resistance up there, bro. And that thing's just like, man, that thing's fading. So, I mean, honestly, if I would have held my position, bro, that thing would have been deep in the money right now, bro. It's all good though. We've seen some cracking to the downside, but we're trying to see a little bounce come in here. Where's that low at? 393.50 on the SPY. $281.90 on the Qs. And then on the S&P 500, $39.40.95. Yeah, about $39.40, $39.50, which is a key level from last week. We seen some decent tanking, and now we're seeing some bouncing. So let's see what happens. I mean, Success made a new high for a second. Look, it's putting in a higher low. The new candle opens above the previous candle for a second. The body. My platform's acting a little glitchy. Alright, so as you see Success reject, you can expect AMD and Nvidia and the overall semis to be bouncing, and that's what we're seeing. But Now, Nvidia is above the chop, right? It's basing up here on this level, the 152.25, trying to make that a consolidation station. AMD has cracked below the chop, okay, with the 72.25 level handle. So what we seen earlier is that AMD was leading as far as price action. So and it looks like that's still the case. Look, AMD's way down here below where it tried to put in a support at. Nvidia is still trying to hold above that. So will Nvidia crack and follow AMD, or will AMD bounce? Will Nvidia hold it up? And then TSM is just putting in higher lows. You know, drag it up for a second. See that? Looks like it's rejecting. But actually, hold on. Forgot. That's a more accurate representation of what's going on. I mean, still the same. So it looks like Nvidia is cracking and headed to the downside. And also TSM is rejecting. Seems like we have a resistance here on TSM at 80.25. And everything's backside, bro. It's just cracking to the downside. And I mean, you know, if you just looked at the price action or the charts from like overnight, like, I mean, I seen us gap down, and when I seen that, I knew basically that the market would probably be looking bearish, at least off the open. Now, how bearish, I didn't know. But now my stock says Trizzies are up 13%. And then things just put in a higher low. Let's see what the high is. $35.80s, I believe. No, $36.80s. I'm on the right chart here. Yeah. I mean, resistance on TSM is still holding up. And AMD's down here on the 5-minute. The present candle has opened below the previous candle, and it looks like it's cracking to the downside. Just put in another lower low on this new candle that just opened. Yeah, I'm gonna show you real quick. So, see that pattern? See where that resistance was at? That 72.25. Cracked below that. Candle opened below this one opened below that one, and then lows on the day. So again, that's why I was saying, as far as price action, AMD is leading. So basically, as of now, Whatever you see AMD do, you can expect Nvidia to do, but we do see some bouncing coming into the market. You can tell right here from the S&P 500 index. It looks like, let me see. Uh, 39.42 is what we're trying to base on and bounce off of. Turn my music down a little bit. So look at this thing. Now, I mean, that was a decent fade right there. So you would expect to see some type of bouncing or like healthy pullback or moderation. But do we base here and bounce, or is this just a healthy pullback? Or is this just a healthy pullback in the overall trend to the downside? Now look at success. I mean, base, bullish, higher low, wick on the bottom, trying to bounce up. Let's see what happens. Right now, TSM is respecting that resistance decent. And I see AMD making new lows. So that means Nvidia is probably going to follow. I mean, you can just look at these charts, bro. They're bearish. Even taking that trade, if you would have tried to fade Meta here at the bottom at this level, which we thought could have been the bottom of the range, bro, you could have faded it from there, bro. So the market's definitely looking bearish right now. And then the S&P 500. Look at this thing. It's cracking this level. Long wick up there, so it tried to bounce and reject it decent. Now it's cracking below the support. But to really see some downside, you want to see it break below this wick. I mean, right now my Treasury's up 13%. I should probably go ahead and lock in profits. But I'm just seeing bearishness. And now TSM's rejecting decent off that resistance. I'm just drag it over. Look at that. See how well that thing respected that level? The 80.25. Now it's rejecting, cracking the 9 and VWAP. So maybe going down to test the 79.50s. But I see a consistently bearish pattern on Nvidia, AMD, and now TSM, which is good for my success. I mean, they're up 13%, but I do see some bouncing trying to come in the market. So do we bounce here or do we keep fading? We've been fading for a while. Good meta, bro. Just, I don't know. I mean, looking at the semis, I mean, they have been putting in a bearish pattern, putting in lower lows, lower highs. They're trying to bounce right now. Let's see what happens on this bounce. Might just be a dead cat bounce. I see some strength coming in. S&P 500. Let's see. So it's looking like that level on the S&P 500, 39, 40, 41. Put in a nice little base there. Now it's trying to bounce. So let's see what happens. I mean, I was up 13%. Now I'm only up 2%. And about 10:30 to 11 o'clock, 11:30 is when you usually see some volume and some bullishness come in the market. Nvidia is breaking out. I think it's looking pretty strong right now. We got volume coming in that. And still up on the contract, but not by much. See what happens here. There's seeing a lot of bouncing coming in the market, but the question is it bouncing or dead cat bouncing? Looking at these charts, bro, everything's looking pretty bearish right now. Especially when you see the market trying to bounce and you see these long wicks. Look at Meta just fading, bro. Now on Google, faded. It rejected off the top and faded down to 97.30s. And it looks like it's trying to catch a bounce. That's on the 10-minute. Look at Meta, bro. That thing's looking weak. Look at all this wicking. Look. So there seems to be some resistance here. Right there. So 394 on the SPY, 280, 250 on the Qs. And bro, everything's just looking like it's fading. I don't know. I see Nvidia bouncing though, and TSM and AMD trying to bounce. That. So Nvidia came down here and bounced off this 151.75. Nice strong bounce, nice bullish pattern. Broke above the chop, broke above the 9, the short term, and VWAP, and making its way up to this 120. So it looks like Nvidia is leading now as far as the price action. And then if we go over here, look, the S&P 500 came down here to this level, this 39.41 50s or whatever you want to call it, which it seems to be a support. We tried to bounce off of it, sold off, consolidated, and now has put in a higher low. Little consolidation station right there. And then Apple, I mean, basically the same kind of price action. But bro, damn, trade of the day. The trade of the day would have been the fade meta, bro. Look at this thing. It's like at this point, I feel like I'd be chasing. No. Google is trying to crack the bottom of the range. Like little support that it had. 97.30s. It's trying to crack it. Now S&P 500, you know, was basing at that level. 39.41. But now it looks like it's rejecting. Like if I see that thing crack that level, I might go ahead and take a chance on Meta here. The contracts aren't that expensive. It's a close spread. Because, like, but only if the S&P 500 and the Qs reject here and head lower. You see, I see the SPY trying to reject. I seen a nasty little jerk just now. Again, you also have to be cautious and wary of that, 11 o'clock volume that comes in. But as far as I can tell, the overall market is looking pretty bearish. I mean, again, nothing is front side. And look, that trade on Meta would have worked. Look, because we got the S&P 500 cracking to the downside. Look at all this. I'll go ahead and try one. I'll try it. Because, I mean, we're cracking to the downside, bro. I mean, that pattern's looking super bullish, bro. I meant bearish, bro. Let's get rid of some of these levels. Charts are looking too messy. And look, now we got success has broken above all this chop and is trying to base up here and put in a new high. And I mean, I'm up 13% on my trizzies, on my success trizzies. It just went up more. Now I'm up 25%. And look, I made that trade based off of this. Based off of this. I was wanting to see if the S&P 500 was gonna base and hold above this level or crack beneath it. Once I seen us crack beneath it, I felt like it was okay. But again, you gotta be wary of that volume that comes in, bro. Comes in at like 11. And look, Success is breaking out, making new highs. I'm up 25% on that one. So what I'd love to see is the market keep selling off. Google has cracked that support, the little consolidation station it was putting in, around 97.30s. I'm seeing a lot of red prints here. Now we do see some bouncing trying to come in the SPY. But I mean, AMD and TSM are just looking like bearish as hell. Like AMD just put in a new low on the day. Now TSM is baiting as well, but it hasn't got to where it consolidated before. So that's what I mean by, as far as the price action, AMD is leading. Bro. You know what I mean? Look how little AMD is. Nvidia's up here. TSM hasn't broken below where it based at earlier and bounced. So that's what I mean by, as far as the price action. But coming back and looking at Apple, bro, and if I would have just held those Apple contracts, dude, I would have been looking decent right now, bro. It's all good though. Can't be mad. Can't be mad at yourself for taking gains, bro. But what we got to be careful of right now is we are seeing some bouncing coming in. And look, Success did make a new high, but it rejected. But what I'm seeing is Apple, bro, is like cracking to the downside decent. On the 5 minute. So, and yeah, Apple's making new lows. And remember, Apple is like, I mean, the most heavily weighted. So if Apple keeps cracking to the downside like this, you would expect the market to follow it. Look at this thing. And I'm up 27% on my Success Trizzies. Wait, no. I'm up 13%. And I'm up on my Meta Trizzies as well. And I mean, the market's just fading. So, I mean, I'm just, I mean, just trying to follow the trend. Now, we do see Apple trying to bounce right here. And Nvidia I mean, Nvidia got to this level here, 151.75, and bounced, and has been putting in higher lows ever since. But AMD and TSM are not looking as bullish, so we have to be careful right here. Because look what time it is. And probably should have cashed out. Let's see. For the most part, we've been seeing a fade on the overall market. One thing to note though. Look at Nvidia. So you can't see TSM, but it's putting in the, here, look, I'm gonna drag it up. Look, putting in a bearish pattern, just putting in lower lows and lower highs, fading down, wick on top, rejecting, looking like it wants to go down there and test the bottom. God damn it. God forgive me. Bro, we gotta find a way to lock these charts in place. And you see Nvidia bouncing here and trying to cross over the 120. Will it cross the 120 or not? It's looking like it wants to. I see a little rejection though. Look at the time. We're seeing some remnants of that 11 o'clock bounce. But I don't know when the market's looking this bearish, bro. But you never know. But look at Google. What a nice trade, bro. For someone that just bought the dip off the open up here to the top and then faded it. Oh man, it's a beautiful looking chart right there, bro. Now we gotta be careful right here. We gotta watch that time, bro, to get that 11 o'clock bounce coming. But I see Nvidia putting in a nice bullish pattern. Let's make sure we're on the right charts. Okay. Nvidia was putting in a nice bullish pattern. It got up to the 120 and it's having some trouble. It rejected, but now it's trying again. TSM continuing to fade. But again, TSM has not got down to the bottom of its range intraday. Right here. And I know that risk to reward wasn't that good on that trade I took. But I'm looking at the overall market and it's looking bearish. And again, look at the time. Look at this. We based and put in a higher low. Based and put in a higher low. And I'm just seeing a bunch of red prints on Meta. I was. Okay. So Nvidia has now broken above the 120. Which is bullish for the semis. I mean, I'm still up on the trizzies. but not by as much as I was. But honestly, if Nvidia is gonna look bullish like this, I need to probably go ahead and lock in whatever gains I can and get out. And I see Google has consolidated at 97.11. It's trying to bounce. And look at the time. Look at the time. You know, Nvidia's been like ripping for the last half hour, bro. Just putting in a nice bullish pattern. Which doesn't bode well for my success right now. And now we even see the S&P 500. Like it based and then bounced. But it's trying to break above that chop. Now, I'm seeing some rejection on Nvidia and both AMD. And TSM has actually cracked the level that it bounced off of earlier and is making new lows. Cracked for a second. It's looking like it wants to crack though. Made a new low, bro, for a second and then bounced. And look at the time. Making me think I need to go ahead and stop out or take my little bit of gains I got left on success here. And Meta, my Meta trade has turned against me. Yeah, some decent bouncing coming in the SPY right here, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Barely up on those now. $11 o'clock bounce. Holds true again. And sometimes it comes at 10:30, sometimes it comes at 11, sometimes it comes at 11:30. On last Friday, I seen it come right at freaking, like, right at lunchtime. And those things just looking bullish. I have to go ahead and stop out. All right, we're seeing some rejection here. Now, what's critical right now? I mean, those are the semis. Look at that pattern on Nvidia. It's putting in higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Came up here and rejected. So about 153. And that could just be a healthy pullback. AMD, bullish pattern. And then TSM down here is putting in a nice double bottom. But what's more important is this S&P 500 right here. It cracked the low came down here and like did a little fake out and then bounced. So right now I'm just waiting to see if it's a dead cat bounce or if the market turns around here. Right now it's looking like more than a dead cat bounce. But let's not overreact. And that beat though actually got on and made a beat on my music channel live. Hey, that beat be slapping, right? Hit him 808. Feel like I need to drop something on that beat. Oh, that's hard, bro. That little breakdown part right there. That shit nasty, bro. And I'm good at the violins. Real instrument to my shit, dog. Really? Now Google here is stuck in between the it's like stuck in between a little range. The 97.10 and 97.30. Stuck in between there. Now S&P 500. I always keep going to the wrong screen, but it's all good. Look what's going on with the semis. So Nvidia got up here. Might be too loud. Nvidia got up here, right? And rejected. That's 153.30.35. So I mean, that's definitely an intraday level. Look, we got up here, bounced off that level, rejected off of it here, rejected off of it here. We're rejecting right now. So that's pretty it's a crucial intraday level. And we got TSM down at the bottom of its range on the day, chopping around. But check out the S&P 500. Look, cracked below, based, bounced back up here, bounced here, and based, and now it's trying to go to the upside. And look at Apple, putting in higher lows, grinding up, trying to reclaim the 9 EMA. Go ahead and get rid of that. So 39.41.45 is a support here on the S&P 500. We get back down there and crack that, you can expect more downside. No, Nvidia's looking pretty strong right now. It's up at the top of that. It's up at that level, which has acted as resistance 3 times, trying to break above it. And basically, Nvidia is above everything. It's above the 120, the short term, the 9, and VWAP. Leading the pack. Let's look at something. Look, Success has got up as high as 85. It's at 30s. No, we are seeing bouncing coming in the market right now, for sure. But I am not sitting through lunchtime chop. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and just pick what little gains I have on Success. Let's see what happens right here real quick. As I see both Nvidia, AMD, and TSM rejecting. Apple is looking super strong right now. Look at the Apple chart. Look at the S&P 500. And if you could see Google's underneath it, putting in higher lows as well. That's all looking bullish. So the real question that we need to ask ourselves is this bouncing just at 11 o'clock volume that comes in? Or is this an overall change in the direction of the market? Well, not overall, but intraday. Because we've been fading for a minute. Now, I'm ready to go ahead and just lock in whatever gains I can on Success. But like bro, like the semis keep like Nvidia keeps getting up to this level and rejecting. And AMD's basically doing the same thing. That's what's making me not go ahead and lock in profits yet. And look, Success is trying to bounce. And just hold on 1 second. Let me do something real quick. We're seeing some rejecting here. I mean, I'm up 13% on the Success Trizzies. All right. But hold on. I'll be right back, guys.